What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Crowned by Kenzie. Whew, baby. When I tell y'all LisaRaye brought it and did not disappoint our interview with Carlos King, she told it all. But before we get into that, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, and hit that notification bell. So that way you know when we go live or we post another video.
How you doing?
All right, guys. This interview, if I had to give a rating on it, 1 to 10, I would say it was a 10.5. LisaRaye gave it. Now, keep in mind, she did not disclose certain things, but when I tell y'all she told everything that she could, she told it. So let's get right into it. The interview started off with her and Carlos just chit chatting, homegirls, you know, Carlos telling Lisa how beautiful she is, which she really, really is. I think the world does not give LisaRaye enough credit for her beauty. But you know what? The one thing I really liked about that part, she was so humble and she did not take it all and like, oh, thank you, so on and so forth. She embraced it, but she made sure to be very, very humble about it. And I really like that. The next thing they got into, they talked about how fun she is and pretty much the misconceptions surrounding her that she's not fun, she's mean, so on and so forth. Now I watched the Queen's Court, in which we'll get into that later, and Lisa just seems like a LisaRaye. I'm sorry. LisaRaye seems like a very good time. She seems like a down to earth woman. Now she don't play no ish. Don't get that twisted. And she made mention of that she does not play when it comes down to business. But other than that, she seems like a very, very nice woman. Now they get into the rumors surrounding her and Cisco back in the day. She did let the world know that she never dated Cisco. So if any of you guys saw those pictures from back when and you had that misconception that her and Cisco were dating, go ahead and kill it, Toots. She never dated him. It was just one of those things where she took a picture with him. Her team thought that it would be a good look for her. She hung out with them, and the rest is history. It's nothing wrong with women, especially celebrity women, having guy friends. And I think sometimes everybody takes that and they make it more just because you take a picture with somebody. Oh, they're dating, oh, they together, and so on and so forth. But that was just not the case. So, anyway, what we came here for, she got into it and she started to discuss, pretty much give a little background on her relationship with her husband, the the president, whoever he was, whoever he is, of Turks and Caicos, Mike Michael Misnick. She started off by saying that she was in Jamaica on a booking. He DM'd her and asked her, could he pretty much come over there and visit her and see her. He did that. He set her whole family and friend group that was in Jamaica with her. He set them up. And then he told her, he asked her, would she like to come back to Turks and Caicos for a few days? And of course, Lisa stated how she rolls. That's just how we roll. She took her family and friends that were there with her. He set them all up, put them in the townhouse, and then she noticed that her bags, when the help went and put everybody else's bags up there. Her bags were the only ones that were left behind, just sitting at the door, pretty much, or sitting in the car, however she put it. And she didn't know what was going on. But anyway, he took her on to his place, the palace, I guess. Shout out to Mama D. Um, he took her to the palace and he set her up, and they had a good weekend. Now, she did admit that they had a one night stand. I think she said it was an 18-hour date, so on and so forth. But oh well, it worked out in the end, I guess you can say that. But she was there. They skinny dipped. They talked on the beach or the island for a while. I'm sure it was private. They talked on the island for several hours. They talked about everything. And then she said the next thing she knew, she came the next day she knew she was at the house and he told her, I got two pieces of good news for you. Oh, and she did state when she met him, she called her mother instantly and said, listen, you've got to fly out to Turks and Caicos on Thursday because I need for you to meet this guy because she just already felt something about him that he was going to be her husband. And so she talked about how he pretty much wooed her. Again, they slept together on the first night. She said everything went down. I'm not quoting her, but she said pretty much everything went down. They had a good time. And then the next day, he told her that he had two pieces of news for her. One, that he knew she liked the suntan, so she could go out and do that. But then the next piece of news that she had to leave within a few hours because her flight was leaving. Now, mind you, when he flew them over from Jamaica, she didn't quite say, but I think she alluded to he flew them over on his private jet. Child, that's enough. But at that point, she did not really know who he was. Even while she was at his house, she did not know. Even though she saw several things as far as like servants, so on and so forth, she did not really know who he was. And so, um, once she once she got to the airport, her family and friends were already there, and she was very impressed that he set it all up where they all got to the airport on time, so on and so forth. And then he and then, once she started walking through the airport, she saw a huge picture of him. And she was like, wait a minute, Presidente or something like that. It was there. I can't remember. But anyway, she realized, she asked him, wait a minute, why are all these pictures up of you? And then he eventually told her he was pretty much like the president of Turks and Caicos. So in her mind, cha-ching, cha-ching. I don't blame you, Lisa. Shoot, I would have felt the same way. Cha-ching, cha-ching. But that's neither here nor there. So then they eventually get into the conversation about her being a gold digger. And y'all, when she said this on why she would not date a man lesser than, I understood that 1000%. And I want you guys to get into it and we'll discuss on the other side.
Them to. Why? Because if I'm going to these restaurants just for lunch meetings and it takes you your whole check to take me there, I don't want to stress you out. You cannot hang with me. You are still wanting a vacation for the weekend. I vacation and go on holiday for the month. We are not going to be able to make this work. That's simple to me.
Listen, it makes sense to me. I love listen, I lived for that. At the end of the day, I don't want to stress you out. If it's gonna take your whole paycheck to take me to this one restaurant where I go just to have a business lunch at, or your idea of a vacation is a weekend and mine is a whole month, baby. Oh, I can't wait to get to that point of vacations. Because let me tell y'all something. I want to be able to take vacations for a whole month. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Ain't nothing like it. And I didn't see anything wrong with what she said. If that makes her a gold digger, then hell, a lot of us are gold diggers, and myself included. So then she then gets into the point of chicks showing up at once she get back to the mansion or whatever have you. So we're gonna move on. Once she gets back to the mansion and she's with this guy, she's married to him at this point. Her servants are calling her up like, bring, bring, first lady. We just want to let you know XYZ because she did not mention names. XYZ is at the palace and they're trying to get in with their friends and we don't know what to do. The prime minister, whatever they call him, he's not here, so we don't know what to do. And she's looking like, well, wait a minute, why is this chick at my house? I don't know her. I mean, I might know her, but why is she here? I didn't invite her at my house. And mind you, she was away from the palace at that time. So why are her servants calling her and telling her that? Why are they showing up at her house? Then she gets into how friends still, some people that she called friends slept with her husband. Some of them were hanging out with her husband and helping him to cheat on her, all in the name of, I'm with the prime minister. Yeah, I'm your friend, but he got more. He's the prime minister or the president of Turks and Caicos, so I'm gonna betray you to be with him. And one of those friends, the guy friend, was Duane Martin. Let me tell you something. That's messed up. That is very, very messed up. I could not. Child, ain't no damn way. Ain't no way, Jesus, that I'm gonna still be your friend and know what you done did to me. Especially a boyfriend is one thing because they're disposable. You get rid of their ass. But somebody's husband? Are you crazy? That's why nope. I don't play that by no. If you know, you know. I don't play them games. Mm-mm. He'll tell you right now, I don't play those games. You're not gonna get close to him. And the minute I think your ass do, I'm gonna shut you right on down because that's not what we doing. We ain't doing that. But anyway, she spoke about how she saw Duane Martin and she saw him after the fact, after, this is a little bit after, so we kind of moving forward a little bit. She saw him in valet and she approached him because he parked either in front of her or behind her. I can't remember. But she approached him and asked him, did he want to talk about it? And he pretty much shook his head like, no. Shit. With me, I would have been like, all right, because it's a courtesy for me even to want to talk to you because I should be showing out on you right now. I really should. If it had came to me, please, it just would not have been that same way. But I digress. So then she gets into Nicole Murphy. And now if you've been living under a rock, you know that when she spoke, she did an interview a while ago with TMZ about Nicole Murphy and how she felt. And yeah, it was not so pleasant. But it was in the midst of Nicole Murphy, that whole situation where her and Leela Roshan, she was messing with Leela Roshan's ex-husband, allegedly, Antoine Fuqua. And at that point, I think as beautiful as Nicole Murphy is, I even felt that way about her. Like, oh God, she's just an American beauty. But when that came out, I think the whole world saw her as just a pure home record slash trick. And ain't nobody got time for those type. At least not over here. I don't know about what y'all do in y'all house, but I'm gonna tell you over here, we ain't playing them games.
How are you? How was lunch?
Great.
Good. Sorry to pop out on you, but I'm sure you heard the news today about Nicole Murphy with Antoine Fuqua.
Yeah.
Now, I saw that you commented in the Shade Room. Your sister came out in defense of you as well, saying that Nicole did the same thing in the early 2000s in your former marriage. Is that true? Did that happen?
True. That's true. Absolutely true.
So what happened exactly?
Just what you said. She messed around with my husband. Here's the thing. We've all done something that we regret. We've all made mistakes, and we all have to learn from that. But when you start doing it and being messy enough to do it amongst family, how does a family kiss turn into a I'm sorry apology? Like, what do you mean? You didn't know that she was married? We all know that she was married. And that was 20 years. That's history. You don't do that amongst friends.
Right.
Because there's no loyalty.
Right.
There's no loyalty, and you got to look up, and your person that you invited to your house and you celebrating your birthdays and going to games with, you got to look up and they're in Italy with your husband.
Right. So
bullshit. I don't know if she's a home wrecker or not. I can't answer that, but I know that what she's doing in people's homes is just wrecking it.
Right. What's your advice to Layla in dealing with this situation?
It's hard because I know that she's sad and messed up about this and embarrassed about this because she has someone that she used to see around right next to her to be able to go, what? Really? Why?
Right.
You know, the comment from me wasn't messy. It was sincere because I've stepped in there. I've been in that situation before, but amongst friends,
right?
Come on. Come on now. And I told you when I told you, and you go do this, and some other couple of other ones we know about. Girl, please.
So you did confront her at the time back then?
I've definitely confronted her. She know it.
Do you think that is she interested only in married men or something like that?
I don't know anything about that. You got to ask her what she's interested in. I know she's interested in getting back in the same position that she was in. Who wouldn't?
Right. What's your message to Nicole?
I ain't got shit to say to Nicole.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate it. Thank you. Take care.
You come up here and try to get close to mine, I'm busting your head. But let me go ahead and move on past that because I'm about to get real excited. So she invited Nicole Murphy to several events, birthday parties, her wedding, etc., etc. And her mother, her late mother, told her, "You got to watch that one right there." And like some of us used to be, because I ain't that way now. And y'all, excuse me, I don't have my wedding ring on tonight, and I was cooking, and listen, it's a whole nother story, but trust me, I'm still married and we good over here. So don't even try to read behind the scenes and think something going over here. We good. Anyway, her mother told her, "You got to watch that one right there." And that's the same way I am. I'm watching everybody that come close to mine. We not playing those games. But anyway, listen, this sends me. But being naive, like some of you are, and no, that's my friend. They wouldn't do nothing like that. That's my friend. She married to Eddie Murphy and so on and so forth. But y'all know those old school people, they see things before we even see them. And they try to tell us, but sometimes we don't listen. And that was her fault. She didn't listen. So one day, she checked the manifesto, which is pretty much a log of all the people that fly on their private jet because they own one. Rich, honey. Very rich. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me do it right. Very rich. In Nene's voice, I'm very rich. And so she checked the manifesto of the private jet and she saw Nicole Murphy's name on there. And she wondered, wait a minute. I didn't invite you. Why is your name on this manifesto? But I'm going to let you guys listen to this and we'll discuss on the other side.
I had checked the manifest of my plane because we owned a plane. And so when you check that list, it says all the people that have rolled on the plane. And she didn't ride on it with me, and nor did she receive an invitation from me. So if you had a girlfriend that has her own island, I would think that you would call and say, "Hey, girl, I'm coming," because I was getting everybody to come. So why you would accept an invitation from him and you don't even know him is unbeknownst to me. I don't know how that could happen. Do you? I guess not.
I never owned a private plane or
not that part.
I don't know, but meaning yes. This is too rich for me. The manifest and the list, like damn. So you saw her name on the list,
and I tried to call her, and at first she said, "No, I haven't been to Turks and Caicos. I have not been." And it was like, well, wait a minute, And then I called again, and then she stopped answering the phone. So at the time she was dating. At this time,
Michael
when
Strahan?
I found out, she was dating Michael Strahan. So I called him.
All right. So then she tried to call Nicole Murphy. Nicole Murphy, "Oh, girl," and you guys heard it. "Oh, girl, I ain't doing nothing like that. Like, I'm not with your man. I ain't never been over there," so on and so forth, lying hoe. Allegedly. And then all of a sudden, like she quoted, she stopped answering her phone calls. Oh, no. No, 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 no. I would have had to find her. And the trick allegedly was married at the time, probably still to Eddie Murphy. I don't know. But I'm telling you, I would have had to find her. You got all the connections in the world to obtain information on where she is, get close to her, whatever. I would have found her and I would have busted her head. But I want you guys to listen to this next part because then Nicole, after this all happened, Nicole was then with Michael Strahan. And LisaRaye, being the chick that she is, she reached out. And I don't blame her. Listen carefully.
And I said, hey, do you know anything about this? And, we talked or whatever. And I said, well, let me send you a tape that I have of proof, And so I did.
What tape? What was on the tape?
It was a tape of her and Michael where she was dropping Michael off at the private airport in her car. And they opened the gate and they pulled up to the plane and she gets out and he gets out. And I go, oh, I didn't know y'all knew each other. And I'm going to leave it right there because that part is my business. The other part is someone else's business, which I've never, would speak on. But for me, that was enough. It was like, wow, I'm going to whoop your ass.
All right, so you guys heard it for yourselves. I don't blame her. I would have told him too. But I would have still been busting her head. Ain't no way. I would have still been busting her head because that's some real low down gutter snipe kind of stuff right there. You lied in this woman's face and told her that you never been to the islands, and her manifesto on her private jet clearly showed your name on there because again, that's a federal document. So they have to document who they take back and forth on their private jet. So it was clearly there. So you denied it. I guess that whole thing. Excuse me, y'all. I didn't mean to call that lady that. But I'm sure she didn't think about that. Like, is she calling you and asking you? Clearly, she got proof. And if you're dealing with the airlines, that's federal. What you think they're about to be lying on that and just throw your name on there? Girl, bye. Get on. You should have beat her ass. And Lisa did say that. She should have beat her ass. But she still didn't break up with her man. Her whole thing was, if you're going to do something behind my back, do it over there. Now, she was honest enough and she said that, hey, I accepted who he is. He's a very powerful man. And so if you're going to do it across the water. Don't do it over here. That's the least he could have done. But no, niggas would embarrass you every chance they get. That's why you got to stay on their head. And if you gotta go upside his head with a pan or something to get him back in check, then you just gotta do what you gotta do. Now, I'm not condoning violence, y'all, and I ain't saying. Let me just leave that alone, okay? I'm gonna leave that all alone, all right? But sometimes you gotta go across their head and let them know that you ain't playing. But then she stated Nicole went on Wendy Williams, and that was pretty much it. She went on there and she lied and pretty much said that she had nothing, she was not the one.
And like I said, no, listen, it said I broke up somebody's marriage, which is absolutely false. I never did that. There was a statement released by that ex-husband saying it's false. And no
Oh, you're talking about when LisaRaye got involved and said you slept with her husband.
Yes, and it's not true.
And, no, she talked real greasy on social media.
I know, it's not true. First of all, her husband released a statement.
That was saying, Turks and Caicos King.
Yes, saying it's not true.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nobody focused on that issue. No one, they just
but
focused
he was caught in the bed with Roxy, so.
But it has nothing to do with me.
But I'm just saying, who believes what he says?
Okay, but.
Men lie. But you know men lie.
But I'm telling you it's not true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he doesn't need anybody to coach him in.
Was he with Nicole Murphy?
Was who with Nicole Murphy?
Michael?
Yes. Yes.
Well, she was here and she denied that.
She went on there and
she
she
did a
lied.
words with that. She
and
said,
pretty
I
much
did not
said
break up LisaRaye's marriage. I wouldn't give
she
her
had
that much
nothing,
credit to
she
say
was
that she
not
broke
the one. And clearly you were. So now, because you come out with that, I'm coming out with mine too. I'm going to tell it all. And I don't blame her. Tell everything on her ass. That's what she gets. She's a homewrecker. And let me tell you something. As pretty and as beautiful as I thought Nicole Murphy was, she still is on the outside. But on the inside, no, ma'am. You're not beautiful. Because if you did something like that, you are not beautiful. You're not beautiful whatsoever. You're a horrible person. If you allegedly did that, you're a horrible person. And then, not to mention, LisaRaye did admit, did let Carlos know that her and the Prime Minister, Michael Misnick, they are still very much friends. They found themselves back to a friendship after their divorce. And she she spoke with him, and he did let her know that. And what's there to lie about? Tell the truth now. We're not even together. But he did let her know that it was plenty of people that were in her face that are still in her face to this day. I don't see how she do it, but baby, that's called growth. But he slept with them, including Nicole Murphy, allegedly.
Obviously, you have a very, public friendship with Biblical Fox.
Wait, and let me just say this too.
Yes.
I have been very public about Nicole, when she did that, the shit with
Lila Rashawn's husband, Antoine Fuqua.
You did your homework. And so I have talked about it before. But again, when she went on Wendy Williams to say that I lied, I was like, wait a minute, I talked to Michael the night before and said, hey, Nicole said, he said, she lying. I said, how many times you sleep with her? He said, about 2 or 3. I said, oh, okay. Okay. So I don't need her to honor the truth or to even say the truth. I don't care. I'm at a whole different place in my life. You know what I mean? But what I do know is what I do care about is don't come in my face. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, he slept with her 2 to 3 times. But again, she already had the proof, and you guys heard it. She saw the video of her dropping him off. What you dropping my man? Girl, no. You should have beat her ass. That still to me warrants an ass whooping to this day. Like, y'all, I can't get past it. And excuse me if I went over this too many times, but I can't get past it because had it been me, it would have been on site every day. I don't give a damn how old it was. Her ass would have been mine and mine only. So they get into it about her and Vivica, and she admitted her and Vivica did have some beef because I don't know if you guys remember. She pretty much said all her friends fell off during the time when she went through her situation. She never said which friends, if I can remember clearly. But she did mention that a lot of her friends fell off. This was in previous interviews. But she told Carlos that Vivica, her and Vivica met each other. They saw each other in the airport. They didn't meet, but they ran into each other in the airport. And she was like, is this going to be the time or this going to be the time? But they ended up talking. Vivica said, hey, you want to talk about it? She said, hey, yeah, we can talk about it. They changed their seats around and they end up sitting next to each other. And it was nothing but God, because that's true friendships. And Vivica did let her know that she was going through things of her own, which sometimes as people, we have to realize that as much as we want our friends to be there at our every beck and call, they're just not sometimes, because sometimes, unbeknownst to you, they may be going through situations of their own. And they just might not be able to answer the phone for us. At least that's what I try to think when it comes to some of my friends. When I'm going through things, even though I don't share my business with people like that, because my business is my business. And when you're going through something in your marriage, the one thing you don't want to do is express that to everybody, because what Megan Thee Stallion father said, just because they grant, don't mean that's your friend. And I live to that. Okay? That does not mean they are your friend, but her and Vivica ended up making up, and the rest is history. Of course, you guys know they were on the show Cocktails with Queens that came on YouTube, Fox Soul during the pandemic. But yeah, all's well that ends well. And then she stated about how Carlos asked her, did she reveal what Duane Martin was doing behind Tisha Campbell's back, Gina from Martin. You guys know she was married to him for so many years, and then they ended up getting divorced. And she said when she went online, or when she spoke out about it publicly, Tisha really did not appreciate that, because she had kids and she did not want her kids seeing certain things and knowing certain things about their father, in which at that time they were not going through a divorce. And so she did not want her kids knowing certain things about their father. And which I get that too. And Lisa admitted that she got it too after it was all said and done, that maybe this was not the right move because kids are involved. But she did state after it was all said and done, the divorce between Duane Martin, and so on and so forth, that Tisha did come back and they talked and they made right up with the situation, and so on and so forth, and the rest is history, and they're still good friends till this day. And that Tisha called her recently and checked on her, say, hey, I just want to check on you, so on and so forth. But then she got into about Carlos asked her about the whole Jada and the wheel slapping, and she admitted that she was not surprised, even though for Will Smith, her and him, she still loves him to this day, according to her. And she has no problem with him, but she did admit that she has not seen him in a few years. But she's still good with Will. But she did say the last time she saw Jada, she said, "Hey, how you doing?" And Jada was somewhat like, "Hi, how are you?" or something like that. Mm. But she thinks that it was because Jada may have seen her joke on the whole entanglement situation, and you guys can go back and find that where she jokingly said about how, oh, it's an entanglement. Well, Will can come and have an entanglement with me or something like that, allegedly. But Jada was just like, find somebody else to do it. I ain't got time to speak with you. Hi. Hi. Y'all know how it goes. But pretty much her and Will are still all good. And she talked about her late mother. She talked about the Queen's Court and how she built a sister relationship with K Michelle, which is good because K Michelle really seems like a very down to earth person. I don't know that again, she's like Lisa to me. LisaRaye, she just does not play the game. You ain't about to play with me. And once you cross me, it's up. But she talked about how she was good with her. Um London, which is, you guys may know her from the Flavor of Love as Delicious. She did not pretty much have a good relationship with her. Well, not no 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 no. Back that up. She did not get a chance to build a relationship because she was gone on a lot of bookings at the time of the filming. After they wrap, then she would be gone. But her and the other guys and the guys of the show, they built a very close bond and so on and so forth. But guys, listen again. If I had to rate this interview out of a 10, a 1 to 10, I would say it was a 10 out of 10. You guys, make sure you go over and subscribe, like, and comment to Carlos King, Reality with the King, his YouTube page, and watch that full in-depth interview, because when I tell y'all, it was given. And Carlos King, I don't know if he ever see this, and maybe one day he will. But when I tell y'all, Carlos did a great job. He was amazing. Carlos asked the questions and he brought it, and LisaRaye brought it right back. Oh, I can appreciate that. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, make sure you subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, and run up these hours, guys, because listen, I think I have like 1,000 or so watched hours, and I need like 4,000. So I need you guys. If you guys support me, please, please, please. I don't like the bed, but I'm gonna tell you guys, please check out my videos. Watch. Go back and watch them. Run them numbers up. I'm telling you, please. I would really appreciate it. And that way you guys let YouTube sorry. That way you guys let YouTube know that we are here, and Crown by Kenzie is here to stay. All right, guys. Thank you so much again for watching. Thank you to all my supporters, and you all have a great evening. Take care. Bye.
How you doing?